Sluggishly here with another Ace Tanker game, and this time I'm actually in the setter. This is the first time this is featured on the channel, and I have aced it once before, as you can see, evidenced by the Ace Tanker badge across the engine there on the front. And this time I find myself in the setter on Cliff. Now, Cliff is won in a couple of different ways, but predominantly the team that controls the middle will generally win the battle. So I'm going to take the setter and go to a favorite spot of mine, and that is, of course, what some people have nicknamed the donut. I will head there, depending on the way the team lays out and deploys, as long as I see I have support, because something like the setter is fragile, and the setter, unfortunately, for a Tier 7 light tank, has very low DPM, so it can't get into sustained fights very well. But with the brass going there, I can definitely provide some support for him to cover him on his reload, and that's really my intention as I zigzag through here. Like right now, I need to help. He's even clicking over. I don't know if he didn't realize I was on the way, but I need to help him. He's on reload, and I need to kill this T-50-2, because right now, the T-50-2 is just getting free damage. Until there, brass finally reloaded to finish him off. Now we have an EBR Hotchkiss inbound, and this area is very critical, but the enemy team did not make a good attempt at this area. If both the EBR and the T-50-2 had both came up here early and together, the brass could have been dead. And now I have to watch out for this T-28 concept, and I'm going to use the rock to pick at him whenever I see him turn his gun away from me. And that's all you have to do with the turretless tank destroyer. And I mean, for a turretless tank destroyer, the T-28 concept has great gun speed. As long as he's spotted, I can watch him, and there's no need for me to take the risk of poking out when he is aiming in this direction. Now he just fired, so I can sneak out, move across, and try to get a shot into the T-29. Now, you'll see me at times pan out, look, and keep my situational awareness out by checking to make sure nobody else is poking in and coming around from the my left side, which would be from the south. And on a T-28 concept, as you notice, I'm not firing premium. All you have to do is shoot these little side turrets and you'll easily penetrate. They only have about 100 or so armor, and despite them being rounded, it's pretty easy to penetrate them with anything Tier 6 and up. Just something to note if you have your own T-28 concept. Cover those at all costs. The rest of the frontal armor is pretty thick, but those little side turrets are a huge weakness. Now here's what I was talking about, situational awareness. I took my setter around to the far corner, because I see this DK making a move. Now he's slow enough I can dictate the terms of engagement. All I have to do is watch for him, and this AMX 1357 is making a mistake. He's now down in the low ground, having to come up. And he's going to take hits from the Poodle and the VK as well. And if you watch, I am playing a game here. I'm watching my AMX, and I don't want to share that fate. So I am going to watch the VK, and my goal is to let him drive down completely. And yes, I do have a risk of him coming around towards me, but I am fully suspecting he's going to drive down towards that FE201. And there he goes. Now I need to stay unspotted. I don't need to let him know I'm here. So that he needs to go down, and he needs to have his commander's cupola get below the ground here, and it did. So now I'm able to come in behind, and yes, I am firing premium, and this will be the only target I fire it at the entire battle. And I mean, it's questionable whether I need it here or not, but I need to kill this VK as fast as possible. So I have shots into his rear engine compartment, and I need to... I'm trying to see if I can't set him on fire. And as you can see, for the damage I'm dealing, the reload's a little long. And that really is my only complaint with the setter. For the damage it deals, it has quite a long reload. And, I mean, you can see just on my damage log there, it's just 3 shots into the rear end of him. He never once turned his gun towards me. Now I'm still lit for about 10 seconds. I didn't even fully aim that. Not much hope of it actually hitting. And I'm going to get behind the bush here. This is where my, eventual goal is to get, because once I can get to this point, I can shoot towards the middle, and if I move more towards the edge, I can even spot the enemy players who are still hanging around their base. And as P43 Biss realizes, you can almost see what was going on there. He's like, whoa, I'm getting hit from behind. And I mean, he eventually is going to realize it's me. Now, you might wonder who spotted me. It's probably the AMX 1357. He moved within the white circle, which is your detection circle. The green is your spotting, your own ability to spot people. But the white is your maximum detection range, where you can be detected. And he moved within that far enough, and I was firing. And firing will give you away quicker than just about anything. I see him moving more towards our base, but we have a VK 28.01 over there. So for now, I'm not going to rush to go aid people at base. I'm going to see if I can't get rid of this sniping T-3485. Because basically, I see we have a Defender and an Ashhorn pushing in, and I want to get rid of the T-3485 so that they're not spotted, and so they're not getting hit by artillery. It's kind of, I want to secure this flank as much as possible before going back to deal with the other. And I'm basically going to say that's good enough. I know there's a T-28 and a Poodle, but there's nothing I can really do in this situation without really risking my own vehicle. And now the AMX 1357 is the biggest threat. I don't want him to kill the VK and the artillery. I would like the artillery to be still alive and firing if we have to dig out that T-28. Primarily him, that's my biggest worry. That's when the artillery would actually be useful to have. So I'm moving in, and as you see, I have the HE selected. The French light tanks are fairly vulnerable to HE. And I'm using the buildings to stay away, because I want to pounce on him at the last second. And there's the HE coming into effect. Now remember, 10 seconds is how long you're spotted. Last thing I want to do is pull out and get blasted by the enemy artillery that's left. And you are spotted for 10 seconds roughly. Of course, it all depends on equipment now, because some people could be running the improved radio set at tier 8 and up, and the improved radio set will make you spotted for longer. But, of course, while this is a tier 8 battle, that AMX 1357 is a tier 7. So now, last 2 enemies are spotted. Last 2 enemies are one-shottable. Here goes the G3 Panther, and the FV finishes off the Poodle. So that is a win with the Top Gun. And again, there's Ace and Top Gun in the setter on Cliff. And get some ribbons to go along with that, as well as a nice amount of damage. As you can see, I actually lead my team in experience by a pretty significant margin, and ISU had a nice game himself, and I fired 7 premium shots, so I didn't make that much credits at all. Actually, I lost quite a bit. But hopefully you enjoy this, and thanks for watching.